welcome back to another episode. Season 3, episode 2. We tried something new, that's all I gotta say. As always, you have myself, Sig, and over here you have, I can't even tell what jersey you're wearing. You have Rahgel.
Oh, it's our local high school. The kids from the stuff that I coached. That's all it is. Nothing special.
That's right, you heard it here. He's responsible for children, y'all.
Responsible what? Children.
Children. Shit and children. Yes. All right.
3 seasons.
No. 2 seasons are underneath our belts. We're working on season 3.
We've made it to season 3. Is what I mean.
I got my new little fancy drink that mother-in-law gave me. Well, she gave me the cocktail mixer.
What is that?
Hot butter rum.
That sounds horrible.
It sounds horrible, right? Yeah.
Butter rum?
Buttered rum, yeah.
What's in it? If you say butter and rum, this is
No, it has a cocktail mixer in it called hot butter rum. Like it's just a thick paste. And then you add water and spiced rum. There we go.
Really?
Yeah. But to be fair, let's just say, I'm not saying it's a weak drink, but their ingredients way outs is a weak drink because it calls for a cup of water plus a tablespoon of this paste and then like an ounce and a half of spiced rum. I'm like, nah, that's not strong enough. Yeah, 3 ounces. That should be good.
So is it supposed to be hot? It sounds like it should be a hot drink.
Yeah, it's made with hot water. So yeah.
Okay.
It says hot water. It says do not use boiling water.
Wonder why.
But it has to dissolve the paste. Well,
so you don't burn yourself?
Listen, okay. I put the spice rum in it and then it got cold because the spice rum's been in my freezer all day, so I had to nuke it.
They have to say not boiling water because people are stupid and they'll put boiling water and drink it, burn themselves, and blame the person that made it instead of their stupidity of saying, "Oh, I didn't think I was supposed to not drink the boiling hot water."
I didn't think I was supposed to put Gorilla Glue on my eyebrows or my eyelashes. What do you mean it doesn't go in my hair?
Yeah. No, common sense does not work for everybody, and they want to blame somebody else for what happened to them.
This is true.
Very true. Very annoying.
Well, I think this is going to be an interesting episode. Don't worry.
The entire time.
Don't worry. Oh, no.
Every time you start anything like that, it's torture.
Hear me out.
To piss me off.
Hear me out. All right. Shh. Quiet down, little ducky. It's fine. So, for many of you may not know, it is season 3, which means it's the first week of January when this is coming out. So, 2 important things. First off, we have a Discord that's free to join. Links listed down in the description. And everyone's welcome to join, where you can come in, chat with us, hang out with us, talk about episodes, give us ideas for episodes, be on episode itself, come game with us on Thursday night. And then we also have our more exclusive Patreon. For $3 a month, you get a ton of benefits, including the video editions of every episode one day after the audio releases. This is pertinent because the idea comes from Discord. The episode comes from Discord. So now you know why I said this is going to be interesting, because you know exactly what's happening now. And for those who are still in the blind, Rahgel and I made the Discord, and I made it where, basically like most do, I have an admin section that only Rahgel and I can see, and we can post up episode ideas. So mostly for him, so where if he's out and about, working, and he decides, oh, this is a good episode, like today's topic, he can post it up there. I have access to it, so where I can see it. His old ass remembers about it, and then we can carry on with the full episode like we're going to do today. So, without further ado, do you want to take a guess at which episode idea I'm going to do?
No, because I don't want to give away any ones that we have.
Fine. All right. we're gonna do 2 of these. So one tonight, or one in this episode, and another one for episode after this. So the one that got my attention the most, and
But I guess it's one that I put on there.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm very logical. I'm very straightforward thinking. I can go outside the box, but I'm gonna read this verbatim on how Rahgel wrote it. Okay, so the subject matter of today's episode will be: how would you talk to the dead?
Oh, that was okay. I thought it was gonna be the other one.
Oh no, the other one's, well, maybe you have a bunch of stupid ones in there. Okay. But however, you said you would have to explain this one because when he posted this up in Discord, my first thought was, no shit, you fucking use a Ouija board. Like, duh. Everyone knows. And he says, no. I'll explain. Let me explain. So, in front of everyone on a global scale, as I sip my buttered rum, please elaborate.
No, this was not like, how would you contact them? This is, how would you talk to them? If you had whatever random spirit, somebody you didn't know, would you talk shit to them the entire time? Would you not care? Would you talk to them in a fearful way? Would you talk to them in a way of like, how you doing? What do you got going on over there? Trying to get their attention in that way. So it's just like multiple different ways you can talk to them, not contact them.
Look, you weren't very clear on it. You just said, how would you talk? You just said, how would you talk to the dead? And my thought was, how am I going to talk to the dead? Oh, I'm going to talk to the dead. I need a Ouija board to talk to the dead.
No.
Because to talk to the dead.
Remember. That was the contact. Then you talk to them.
Speaking of talking to the dead, my fucking lights are already acting up here. So if you see flashing lights, it's not me. I promise. It's whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So how would we conversate with the dead? There we go.
And you can church it up all you want there, dirt, but it's still talking to them.
It is, but seeing as Ouija board was the wrong answer.
Yeah, that's contacting. It's not talking.
It's talking. You're using it to talk to them. Therefore, it's talking. Conversation.
You have to contact them first. See, initiate the conversation.
Yeah, you have to talk to them first to initiate a conversation. We're using the same words. No matter how you want to dumb this down for your stupid Army P brain, it's the same fucking shit. Logic wins, guys. We.
No.
We.
No.
CC.
Don't come in here with your logic of any kind. That's not what this was for. So it's more or less, would you? I've already guessed of how you would do it. You would probably shit your pants and not know what to do.
That's not true. I had a spear in my house that broke Jesus off the cross twice and broke his hands.
And you said you shit your pants every time.
No, I just didn't talk to it. I didn't acknowledge him. Like a redheaded stepchild, I went, he ain't here.
Okay, so you've seen multiple...
And then I put my kids in that room. To go to sleep.
I'm assuming you've seen the Ghost Hunter shows that they have. All the
Yes.
All the ones that are all over the History Channel and all those. So, and then the TikToks, the Facebooks,
yep.
all the ones that have these ones you can say pretty much staged on a lot of them. Now there are some that seem as they may be legit, but
it's all with a grain of sand.
True. The Ghost Hunter ones, I have a hard time believing any of that stuff. Because I feel a lot of it's all staged with the shows.
Like the actual show called Ghost Hunter, or like Ghost Adventures too?
Yeah, any of them. I think a lot of them are all staged. Now, maybe there's other noises, random noises that probably happen, yes. But how they talk to them, the basic questions that they ask of like, what is your name? Why are you here?
Hey, listen. Phasmophobia told me these are the only questions I'm allowed to ask on the Ouija board, okay? For it to respond to my EMF.
How do you know that, though?
Because Phasmophobia gave me a list of words I'm allowed to use.
No, like, why does it break down to just that? Why are you not allowed to ask anything else?
So I think
where's the rules at? Give me the rule book.
Where are the spiritual connection rules? Because this is bullshit. So my understanding from, again, I watch a lot of those ghost hunting, ghost adventure shows because I think they're, like, for the most part, I think they're funny. They're entertaining. There's a few of them like, okay, you got my attention. They're like, this is possible. But from people like Zach Bagans specifically, who have said, we ask these questions because they are the most simplistic, because it takes them a lot of energy and they don't have a whole lot. So they have to use our energy. They have to steal, basically. That's why lights tend to go out. That's why computerized systems go out, go down, and power down, and all that is because spirit or entities are stealing the energy from that to power themselves up so they can talk, and they can do stuff like throw, push, interact. So you use simple phrases because they can't formulate a long structured sentence because they don't have the energy. In order to use the energy, they have to get it from you. And if they get all your energy, then you're likely to die because your energy, your essence is what powers them. And if they drain you, then they can't do anything else.
And this is the guy that has a show, correct?
Yeah, there's several of them that have shows.
Okay, so they're limited on their ability to do stuff on the show, so they make up these rules to make it to where it's easier for them to edit and shoot and everything else. So I can see the reasoning behind having that. Now, is it good reasoning? I don't know. But I think it's horseshit.
Definitely, I'm not going to argue semantics about it, but it's a logical reason behind it of saying a spirit does not have enough energy, because depending upon what faith or what belief system you have in the afterlife, whether you believe in ghosts, like the whole supernatural type of ghosts, demons, vampires, and all that, or you have more of a religious perspective, such as Catholicism teaches of, there are demons and angels. But of course, if you have demons and angels, you have to have souls kind of like floating around, because Catholicism teaches about purgatory, the waiting room. And I'm telling you what, the military taught, it was like, they trained me, hurry up and wait. So bring it on. Waiting room ain't nothing for me. And you have other faiths where spirits roam the earth until they, have finished their business. The movie Casper kind of goes into that. Of unfinished business means the soul can't leave Earth, leave the plane of the living until it's resolved all of its issues. And you have others where it's just they're entities, whether humans or evil, malicious, angelic, whatever, all sorts of entities. There's no one right or wrong way, because no one has truly the answer for this. It's a great unknown. So to say they don't have a lot of energy, okay, makes, like, it's logical. We can't prove it, we can't disprove it. I'm just saying, if the entity that was in my last house had enough energy to rip Jesus off the cross a couple times and then break his hand and rip him off the cross, like, he could at least say, hey, what's up? Stop fucking taking Jesus off the cross. That's just rude.
But did your lights flicker and everything else before that happened?
No, because it always happened at night.
Okay, so where did the power of everything, like they were saying, where did all that come from?
The little night light in my kid's room. I don't know.
Because I know they always correlate a lot of flashing lights, things like that, with stuff before stuff happens. Okay, yeah. So there's something over there, lights turn on, whatever. There are a couple TikToks that are out there. The people that they'll say, I don't know if it's a demon or whatever they call it, a spirit of some kind, but it's a dark figure that'll kind of poke its head out a doorway.
Yeah.
And then tuck back in. And they will sit there and they will have a conversation as if it's just another kid in their house that just messes around.
Yeah.
Now, they'll be doing something and they'll get pulled. They act as if they're getting pulled or whatever. But they made a full TikTok living off of this thing.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is they're going on, living their life, acting as if, okay, well, there it is right there. They try to catch it every now and then, whatever. But it's their whole persona on social media, on TikTok, and whatever else they have.
Yeah.
So that's what they've stuck with, and that's worked for them. I don't see a whole lot of other ones like it yet. Now, will there be more? Probably not. Who knows?
There's one couple I follow on TikTok who has a super active house, and I will say this: the activity in some of these houses quote unquote astonish me, because it's always like, well, we just bought this house. This house was just built. It's like, okay, so based upon the bullshit knowledge, whatever, that I have learned from TV shows and movies, is if this is a new establishment, there's the new building, that means no one's died in it. So unless you are on Indian burial ground, which, look, you just don't build anything on top of a grave. Like, that's just bad juju, regardless of which belief system you are in. That's just not smart. With that said, Cheney Lake they dug up a whole graveyard and relocated 80% of people, and people still float from to this day. Anyways, side note. But they live in a newly built house, and if it's staged, it is a hell of a production crew they have working on this stuff. But it's a lot of the time where, like, the husband will be at home, and this one video, the husband's at home, the wife is upstairs, and he's filming, and he goes from, like, his perspective, what he would see. He's like, watch this, I bet I can make her show up. And he's like, hey babe, what's going on? And you can hear her up in the balcony. He looks up and she's folding clothes, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, I just want to make sure I'm trying to show everybody so they don't think you're doing anything. And he goes around the chair, like, he sticks his hand up inside the chair, he grabs everything he possibly could, and you don't see anything move. Again, that's not too hard to fake, where you just miss the wires just a little bit. But he's like, all right, I'm gonna sit down, and he turns the TV on, gets shut off instantly. Okay. And also he looks at the recliner that's in front of the TV, and he's like, is this you? Are you doing all this? And you just see the recliner start rocking back and forth slowly. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm trying to watch TV, so the game's on. Can you please stop fucking with my TV? The chair rocks even more violently, like, to the point where you can see the legs underneath just rock. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to get up. And he goes to push the power button again, turns on, instantly shuts off. So he tosses the remote to the side, and as he stands up to walk the TV to push the button, he's filming the TV, and it's all his perspective. And you see the TV screen, it's black. You see the reflective of the chair, the couch, the island in the kitchen, his wife upstairs. All of a sudden, you see an entity kind of pop up on there, just scary looking fucking woman. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh my God. Babe, did you see that type thing? Freaking out. And then he's like, okay. I'm just going to sit down. And next thing you see is his chair gets knocked over, his end table gets knocked over, something gets thrown. And him and his wife are just, like, trying to book it outside. She's trying to walk down the stairs or run down the stairs, and she's freaking out. And you just see things being thrown. And I was like, again, if this is stage, hell of a performance. But it's also one of those videos going, I know what to look for editing. I feel like I'm pretty decent at finding, like, the smallest glitches, but especially with, like, superimposing, that's not hard to fuck up. But it looked super real, and I was like, all right, you got me there. And he has a whole saga of this. Yeah, that's his whole persona too.
Which, I mean, they're some of them have to have something.
Yeah. I mean, all can't be real. No way.
No.
No way, though. But back to the topic at hand. How would you talk? Conversate. Converse.
Able to see it, I would probably just have a conversation. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they want or why they're here or whatnot. It's like, what, like, why are you here?
What
why
do you want?
Me? Leave my shit alone.
What do you want? Tell me.
And if that was fine, I'd probably just end up ignoring it. And you're being irritated after that, and then just like, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? I now have another kid in the house. What do you want? That's all you are to me now. You're another kid. You're just annoying. What do you want?
Maybe he is another kid.
Leave my shit alone. Now then I'll figure out. Was it sage or whatever will be tossed around the house and piss it off.
Yeah.
That's how much I don't believe a lot of this shit, but I don't know.
I'm one of those, like, I haven't personally experienced against other than just never seen Jesus, but I see him on the floor, and then the night before I'm like, I know you were just nailed up there. And then I know I gorilla glued you and put you back up there. and that part of his body has stuck to the cross that he was on. But I've never seen it do it. I've also never seen or had any actual, like, what I would say as legitimate type of paranormal activity, because again, I'm very logical. I can be like, oh, this is what made that noise, this is why this door creaked open, I didn't shut out of the way, air pressure changed, whatever. Like, I can justify almost damn near everything. And you have my wife on the other hand, who grew up, and her words, she has gone through paranormal situations where, like, her bedroom was haunted at her place just like an hour away, growing up with her mom and dad before they got divorced, and that this entity would come in, and it would just stand in the corner. There was times where, like, it would pull the blankets off or start pulling them down, and she'd pull them back up, you know, like very stereotypical activity.
You know, that's probably the only time at night. I was at 9 o'clock. It came on, so I was.
Okay, so you thought too.
Yeah, I watch every time. That is probably the only time, and I'm not saying that this stuff wouldn't scare the shit out of me if I had something going on. Bed, like in bed, stuff like that, sheets being pulled, that would probably scare the shit out of me. But if it continuously happened, it would stop being scary and it would start to be annoying, and I would just get mad, and I'd probably get
stop.
Leave it on.
Stop me or not? Are we doing this?
Yeah. So I mean, over and over, the scaredness and the being afraid, everything would probably start to go away, and just become again annoyed.
A nuisance.
And everything else, like, all right, I'm so fucking tired of this shit now. I'm up. Let's do this.
I don't get much sleep as is, and you're fucking with it. Don't make me call the Ghostbusters, because I know who to call. I know. But, like, I don't know. There's again, I am very logical, but at the same time, I'm very open-minded, where I'm like, okay, cool. It's plausible. I can't disprove it, but I also can't prove it. So it's that realm of, okay. However, with that said, I would converse with the ghost no matter what. Caveat: children. That's like a burn the fucking house down type situation. I don't do that. Like I told you, anytime there is a horror movie or a paranormal movie that has a ghost child or evil children, done. I don't give a fuck what the movie was. I don't care if everybody gave it a 10 out of 10, best fucking acting in the world, all the nominations, all the winnings of those nominations, I still would be like, nope, that movie sucked ass and needs to burn in hell. I'm done with it. Like, I don't like children in those parts.
I don't like children. I hate kids.
If they're not mine, true. But it's just one of those, like, no. Like, I can watch a dude rip another dude's head off, rip the spine out, gut them, skin them, whatever. Fine. But the moment a fucking scary looking children that's either a serial killer or a ghost or whatever, I'm just like, done. Tap. I quit. And I can kind of sort of prove this. You just fortunate to take my word. So The Exorcism, I think, is a movie that's getting ready to come out, or Exorcist, one of those two. I'm seeing the trailers.
One just came out. Yeah.
With that said, I don't have YouTube on my iPad anymore because of the kids. But I have YouTube on my Apple TV. I was going to bed 2 nights in a row now. 2 nights ago, I was going to bed. I was like, look, my wife's asleep. I'm going to put on, I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to watch Good Mythical Morning and maybe some VAT-19 stuff and just go to sleep. And I click on a GMM episode, and all of a sudden it's a 45-second ad that I can't pass because it's on Apple TV. I was like, okay, no problem. All of a sudden I see Exorcism, and it's 2 children in the bed. Coming soon. And I was like, what the fuck? And I shit you not. Kind of. I took my phone. I literally had it like this, just blocking my entire view of the TV.
If it doesn't see me, I can't see it.
It was angled, so I could only see like the little corners where the 45-second timer was down. And this bitch was 45 seconds of just this movie. I made it to about 30 seconds left, so 15 seconds. I made it through. I went, nope, fucks with me. I don't like it. It fucks with my dreams and everything. Very visual person. So I turned it off, rolled over, just went to Safari and went to YouTube that way. And I was like, okay, last night we just got done watching an episode of Grimm because we're now going through all the seasons. Watching an episode of Grimm, but wife fell asleep again. Go to YouTube. I was like, what's the chances? 2 nights in a row this shit happens. 90-second ad. So YouTube's like, we know you didn't watch a 45 seconds, so fuck you, fuck your shit. Here's a 90-second exorcism ad. And I'm just like, nope, just not even do it. Rolled over. Because it was just a child. And I was like, no. I'm good. I may be 33, but children and horror movies like that, them and I don't get along.
Turn the sound down and look at your phone.
I muted the damn bitch, but it was the fact that I could still see it out the corner.
Look at it.
That's not how my visual works.
So look at your phone. You know you got 90 seconds. Look at your phone. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
TikToks. Something.
Didn't want to. Just turned it off. I wanted to go to bed at that point. I was like, I'm done because my dumb ass will not only like watch my phone, but then they'll slowly pull it down and be like, is it over yet? I know it says 90 seconds, but like maybe another ad popped up. Nope. And didn't wake my wife up at all, but I told her about it the next day, and she's just like, you know, you can like just close your eyes, right? You're aware of that function. I was like, I wouldn't know if the ad was over though, because I had it muted. I didn't want to miss the beginning of the GMM episode. It's like, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
However, again, if it was an adult, I would converse with them. I would have no problem. As long as I can like physically see them. If I couldn't see them, then it would be an aggro move of going, show yourself. If you're gonna fucking live in my house, you have to show yourself. You ain't gonna be some punk ass, show yourself. And then when they show themselves, like, ah, cool, what's up? How'd you die? Oh, really? Here? Or elsewhere? Like, why are you here? Is supernatural real? Like, if I put a ring of salt around you, are you stuck? Like, I'd be asking questions. Because that's how my inquisitive mind would work. As long as I could see them. But yeah, it'd just become a nuisance, though. If they're like, let me pull the sheet down. Stop. Pull the sheet down. Swear to God. I will fucking exercise you from this goddamn house. You can live here. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. It's just like all the spiders that live here. We just cohabitate. We don't acknowledge each other. But if I had a choice, like, to talk to any ghost or any entity that has passed, I have a laundry list. Some to solve conspiracy theories. Some because I'm a big fan of theirs. Some family. Others just cuz. And I'm not gonna say those ones out loud because it raises a lot of red flags. Some super bright red neon flags. Yeah, we won't talk about those. I would have a conversation with them.
Who are some of your top ones you talk to?
If I gotta choose,
Yeah, you got to choose.
Elvis Presley would definitely be like number one. But again, I'm been a huge fan of his. I have all his fucking music. I have tons of actual vinyls, both of his from like his tours and everything I did. I got some shit signed from him because of my 8th grade teacher that passed them to me, and then some newer vinyls as well from him.
You don't have to justify it.
I'm not. I just really like Elvis Presley. I would want to know some conspiracy answers. So JFK. I got some questions I need answers that take place during that time frame, and he would know.
Did we do an episode on that one?
No, we kind of did the conspiracy theory, and we touched base on it. We're like, oh yeah, you know it, and we just moved on.
Okay.
We haven't done a full-fledged. We'll get Lane on for that because I'm sure that'll be fun. My grandpa, only because I have kids, and he passed before my oldest was born. Anyone? Jesus? Is that a proper one? Can I say that? Is that allowed? I'm just saying that would solve a lot of issues for me. Like, boom, okay, and if not, be like, all right, like it's a win-win either which way. You can't tell me that that's not a good pick, because like if you have a lot of questions about the afterlife and whether or not like you're questioning faith and everything like so many people do, that's a good one to be like, choose the leader or like the highest entity or highest public figure for that faith and be like, I want to talk to that dead guy. Because if they're real, then you're like, all right, my faith is true. I can live a better life now. Probably work a little bit harder.
Probably.
If they're not true, then be like, all right, I'm going to continue my life. That's fine.
So you're saying I'm good. Nothing to worry about.
No, I'm going to ask him, are we Gucci? Yeah, we're Gucci. Yeah. I'm going to come tell you, see, he knows what it means. He's using this hip young lingo that they've phased out because of us.
Now, give me one that's Jesus doesn't count. A controversial one.
Okay.
Without, like, obviously starting shit of any kind.
Genghis Khan would be a really cool one to, like, talk with if there was no language barrier.
Yeah.
Just because, like, he Thanos snapped the world before Thanos was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he cleared out hundreds of millions of people and reduced the population so much that it actually cooled the earth and all this amazing stuff. So, sorry, probably not the best word to use, amazing, when talking about a bunch of people dying. Mass genocide, but
go
yeah.
with your villain persona.
Yeah, but like that one would be an interesting one to converse with, to just like see the thought process. Julius Caesar from the Roman Empire, really anybody from Roman Empire, Cleopatra, really just like any high public historical figure would just be interesting to be like, so we were taught this, none of this is true. Fucking knew it. I'm gonna go tell my teacher that F needs to be reversed to a fucking A. Not that I have any grudges, but I'm pretty sure I was right.
It doesn't count if you always think you're right.
I think Genghis Khan is gonna be like the most controversial one that I'm willing to go with, because there's a whole slew of evilness that I just want answers to some questions. But there's certain ones I'm not gonna just publicly like, oh, this guy, you know. So yeah, that'd be mine. That would be mine for now. Wait till the episode goes on. It may evolve. Who knows?
It's just some of those ones you think about who you can have, then it can get really interesting. Especially like you said, your grandpa. That would be another one. Like, would you introduce your kids? Like, show your kids?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, after some time.
So, like, without damage, you're like, here's your dead grandpa. Huh?
Well, so it's interesting.
What the conversation your son would have. My grandpa's back. He's with us now.
I saw him.
Your kid would be committed.
He would.
The way he goes about stuff. My mom's dead. My grandpa's back.
I wouldn't even have to introduce him, because I'd be like, okay, so this is your grandpa. He passed away. Yeah, I know. He's here all the time. And he would make it fucking super creepy. Be like, you're done. Go away. We are getting you. You're touching some holy water. Go away. Get out. But no, like, I've thought about that too. Like, that is definitely one that has, I wouldn't say plagued me, but that is one that has bothered me for so long, because he literally, my grandpa passed away 2 years before my daughter was born. Keep in mind, this was the same man who I told, hey, I'm going to go join the Marines. The fuck you will. I will disown you. You will not be a sour. You will not be allowed in this family anymore. If you join the Marines, I will personally whoop your ass. All right, Grandpa, you win. I won't do it. Go sign the Air Force. Okay. So, had he not threatened me, I'm just saying this would be a different life I'd be living right now. A lot more.
You knew you're
issues.
out. That's why you said it. You weren't going to do the Marines. You knew you're out. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm in Marines. No? Okay, I guess I'll go.
No, because I idolized him and he was in the Marines and I technically had paperwork already drafted up. I had to go, I can't do this because I told you to get kicked out of my family, so sorry. But yeah, I was told you guys treated my grandpa like shit during World War II, so I'm out. Maybe later. But I had that conversation with myself numerous times of like what I would do if supernatural stuff was real and you could summon, whether like tarot reading or Ouija board, and then you go down that rabbit hole of like, would you do that? Because if you do that and everything that's said is true, you can't get rid of them. You've brought them back to the land of the living as a spirit and they can't leave now because they're attached to you. It's like, do I really want to risk that? Do I really want to chance that? Like, I just want to say hi, catch you up type thing, but do I want to go down that rabbit hole of what if everything I've seen is true? What if?
You're always here now. Please leave me alone. We had our moment.
You've been here for a week now. We're good. I introduced you to one of my kids. The other kid said you've always been here. Bye-bye. Time to go.
We're done.
It's been a fun run. See you in 7 more years.
Huh, that's what you think. See you sooner.
That would be the other side of like the coin of how much knowledge do they have about you? Like, because again, some belief systems say these entities, since they are passed on and they are connected to whatever supreme overseer there is, that they also have some knowledge of everyone. And it's one of those things of like, if that's true, do you dare to ask the question of like, when am I expected to die? Is this really all planned out? Or is it just like happenstance? Then you get down that really dangerous rabbit hole of, oh, they do know I'm going to die at 72. I'm 61 now. 11 more years. Chaos. Complete fucking chaos for 11 years. For devoted religious man. I've had a lot of self-talks about these. I have my own little TED talk going on in my head with these type of subject. It's very interesting.
Well, and then also the process of after. Of what happens? Is it just darkness? You're done?
Well,
that's it.
Okay. So
no rolling credits. You're just in black screen.
So that's the one I will be honest. That's the one that probably like freaks me out the most. Is just like done type thing. However, what I think is really interesting, I'm gonna be realistic. Had you asked me this question like even a year ago, or when we started this podcast, I'd be like, we're not talking about this subject because it's not a subject I talk about. But thanks to my kid, who every other fucking day for 6 weeks talk about death, and then therapy. But no, it's one of those things like the most interesting theory that kind of explains a lot, like deja vu, like piggybacks that, and can also go into like multiple universes type thing, is the what was it called? I think it's called like the birth wormhole, reincarnation basically. But you die and then you instantly gain conscience coming out on the other side as a baby. So yeah, being ripped out. Yeah. And I was like, I personally like that one just because like, okay, it explains like there's a lot of, even though it's all theory, there's a lot of instances in the theory where you're like, okay, that makes sense. That's why you're like, oh, this seems familiar. It's because you lived it before. There's also the recycle theory, which is just basically, I think Groundhog's Day. You die, you come back at yourself in a different universe, and that's why you have these deja vu moments. Like you've done this before, you've seen this before, you've seen this exact same thing before, and why so many dreams are very, very vivid.
Mm.
And again, those are just really interesting ones to go down. And then there's the whole like that getting super religious, more so than we already have, is heaven hell type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, that sucks. Like either which way, I mean, one sucks worse than the other, depending upon which faith you believe in. Because there's some that state that hell is a place for repent, where you just go down there. It's not fire and brimstone. It's you're bettering yourself. You're reliving. You're trying to see if you can become a decent human being to go upstairs. And then there's others where I'm like, okay, so heaven's a paradise, or in our cases, let's like Norse mythology of everyone that's served goes to some type of Valhalla. Like, am I stuck with everybody? Can I traverse to other realms? Like my wife wouldn't be in Valhalla. Maybe she works retail. I feel like that's justified. Anybody dealing with customer service is fair.
It's been a war zone.
But like, it asks so many questions of like, can I go see other people? Or there's the like what I was taught, which is you ascend up to heaven and you're met there with your perfect situation, your perfect heaven type thing. Okay, but what happened if like a loved one doesn't go to heaven? Like, are they still in my heaven? Like, it just keeps me up at night is all I'm saying. For many, many years. 30.
Oh, I mean, it easily can. I mean, if you're going to sit there and think about it and dive into it, and I mean, it's probably the most borderline
Sociopathic, yes.
topic we've had. A borderline topic we've had about, because we said we don't talk about religion or anything else, but this is the most borderline.
This is supernatural.
Of like hitting the roof of like, okay, religion, but not quite doing it. So, but
sorry, that's really my fault, everyone.
Asking those questions, but you haven't dove into it. You've kind of sprinkled it in.
Just tip my toe.
Just a little bit here and there. But asking these questions, trying to know these things, is stuff that either you want to know, you find out. Do you change, or do you not?
And that's probably the biggest question, though. Like, and we'll get to your top three, but like that's the biggest question, though, is regardless of faith, regardless of belief, regardless of religion, if you were able to find the answer out of heaven, hell, good, bad, Valhalla, all that stuff. If you were to find out the ultimate question of life, the purpose of living, the afterlife type thing, do you ask the question to get the answer? Because then the answer may not be something you like, or it may be something you truly like, which then begs the alternative question of, I mean, they both beg the alternative question of, is it worth it? Like, is it worth me getting better, me becoming a devout religious man? Is it worth me even staying religious if it's not all real? Like, it's just a festering wasp nest of what ifs, and asking one question has the greatest detrimental outcome regardless of yes or no. Because if it's no, is it worth it? If it's yes, well then am I already screwed? What do they look at? What's the qualifications? What's the quantities of which I must meet? If it's just I get to go Valhalla because I served in the military, cool. Call me a supervillain. We're getting ready to go. Like, there's a lot to it, and whether or not you believe in like the Greek or the Roman myths or Egyptian or all the other faiths. Like, I use Norse, Roman, and Greek because that is again the mythos I am most familiar with and most well versed in. I know some Egyptian, not enough to say I'm well versed, but I know enough to get myself in danger. I've been studying a lot of like the Southeast Asian, like Chinese, Japanese era. So again, not well versed. So it's just one of those of like, do you ask that question? Do you find out do you find the answer to the ultimate question of life? Or do you just say ignorance and hope for the best?
That's probably what I would have to say, because if I asked that question and found out the answer of when, my personality and everything else would
Shift.
it would be way worse. Because if I knew when it was happening, a lot of things would change, because I would probably become more selfish on anything and not care about a lot of stuff. I'll be honest, that's exactly how it would be. So I know what's happening or to me, then yeah, I would. A lot of things would change. It would be more about myself, because that's just like, okay, well, this is where it ends.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure that I have what I need. Now, it would be for my kids as well, but it would be selfish on their part as well. Like they get this stuff, they have this and everything else, but also setting them up. It would be more selfish of, I would cast a lot of other people away, because I don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Of like, that's it. So that's why I wouldn't want to know.
So would you, if you had to ask, would you rather ask when, like age, what age you're gonna die, or how you'll die? Knowing that no matter what, these are solidified. There's no like, if they say you're gonna die by a shark, you're like, well, bitch, I live in fucking Iowa and Kansas. You ain't getting me with a shark. Good luck, boo boo. We'll try again.
Oh, my luck is I'm driving down the street and a shark's gonna be transported to SeaWorld somewhere. It's gonna roll over and crush me.
I was gonna say Sharknado, but yeah.
Oh, that too, yeah. I mean, if I go out that way, cool. I go out fighting sharks in the sky. That's fine. I would probably ask how more of when, because again, if I know when, then that's where things. My whole mindset changes drastically. More than likely, it wouldn't matter, because I would forget anyways. So I could say, "Oh, cool. When did he say?" Like, shit. Hey,
anybody get a pen and paper?
No, shit.
Pen and paper.
I can't ask that question again. Damn it. Can you sign it to me? Can you let me know what you said again?
Can you text it to me? Is that possible?
No, I would probably ask more how. And my luck is like, oh, a heart attack. Well, fuck, that doesn't narrow anything down. So treat my body like an amusement park. So, okay, cool. That's not gonna change.
But then that begs the question of the paradox. If you finding out how, is that the reason why you die the way you do, is because you found out how? Whole different episode, but yeah. I would still, I mean, it still begs the question for mine too. Is like, I would rather know like year. You're gonna die at 72. You're gonna die at 80. And the only time I'd probably question it would be like, you're gonna live to see 120. Be like, why? Take me sooner. Like, what the fuck do I need to stay around for 120 years to be a crippling piece of shit at 120? Like, you understand? Literally, there's gonna have to be a hose up my butt, because it's the only way somebody's gonna clean the shit out of me.
I get if I asked, I'd probably get a smart ass, since that's what I am. So I get a smart ass answer back, like, oh, it's gonna be in 2033. Not a day, not an day. Like,
I would take that. I would take that,
cool.
because
no, soon as
quick years.
2033 starts. Great, cool. Is it tomorrow? Is it like what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna wake up like, okay, well, guess I'm gonna do this. Live every day like you're dying.
I would, but see, to me, I mean, I don't like either one of them, but to me, that's more calming, I guess. That's not the right word, but that's more like peace of mind than how, because how then begs the question of, is it today? Like, you have that is it today mentality for the rest of your life, especially if it's like something medical, like you're gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna have a stroke, you're gonna have a brain injury, like something you have very little control over. And I say very little control over because we'll do a whole episode of it later on, because working out strains your heart, which hurts your heart, which a lot of people have heart attacks, especially taking all these supplements. Neither here nor there. Science proves it. But if you're told you're having a heart attack, you're like, well, shit, I eat McDonald's and Taco Bell every other day. My cholesterol is high. Yep. Yeah. All right. So this could literally happen any fucking day. So then you decide, I'm gonna go get healthy. I'm gonna eat right. I'm gonna go to the gym. And you start going to the gym. You start running. You start exercising, and all of a sudden you have a heart attack while pumping iron. Now you just got healthy, and you died doing something that's miserable. When you could have been dying doing something more enjoyable, like with the significant other. At least you can go out with a bang if you hit that point.
If I ask when, like, tomorrow, fuck, cool, it's 10 o'clock at night. Well, all right. Can you give me time?
Like tomorrow, or like tomorrow after tomorrow? Like which tomorrow? That's a very broad term. Sir. See, I would be the smart ass back to him, be like, all right. When I'm 73. Now hold on. So I know there's a counting system that says I'm 1 year older right now because when you're born at 1 year old, not 0. So am I gonna die then, or do I get an extra year? And leap years, like, does that count? I mean, that's like there's an extra day. If I have enough of those, I'm going to hit half a year. Is that taking life off my time? Like, I would piss them off to the point they'd probably be like, now, like, oh, cool, awesome, thanks. Well, nobody pays for my debt, so yeah, that's cool, awesome. Can you just give my wife all these passwords? She's gonna need them.
Where's my history?
Nope. Good luck. See what you see. Maybe be scar, maybe not. Who knows? Just make sure you're available every Tuesday night to keep this podcast going. But to trace backwards, if you could pick 3 people from history who are dead, and history, of course, means anything that's dead now at all, who would you pick? What 3 people? And you need to have a controversial one, because you made me have a controversial one, because Jesus doesn't count.
I don't know why Abraham Lincoln would be one I'd want to talk to. I don't know why. I don't know the infatuation I have with him. I don't have, vinyls or books or autographs of him.
He's on my I have a conspiracy list. I have one for him because there's so many revolving around him, and then there's a bunch of new information that came out that says he was actually part African, like a heavy portion of African, which is why he had certain facial features and skin tones and everything. So like I gotta know, is this true? Because then I have conspiracy theories too. Like
looking at pictures of him, he looks like he had a rough fucking life. Granted, it's the timeline or the time that he was alive.
Or he's a fucking time traveler.
But the guy looked like he had a rough life, even being president.
Yeah.
So everything about him, just questions about that, that's
he only abolished his stuff, but that's
his
fine.
Death. But
not rough life at all. Right?
It was crazy. So
Civil War.
A lot of stuff that obviously the times, but like I say, it's just like even being president and the stuff that he was dealing with and like that, and then obviously leading up to his death. There's a lot of questions that I would just want to understand more or less about him.
That's fair.
But it's and the fact that he's 9 feet tall.
Joke's on you. You meet him and he's like your height, and you're like,
hold on,
what the fuck?
This is all not true at all.
He found out he had stilts. He's the inventor of them. You're like, God damn it! I knew it. Couldn't prove it. No one's gonna believe me. Write a book, my historical conversation with Abraham Lincoln, the ghost.
He's definitely one that I would want to have conversations with. He fought vampires.
Did you fight?
So
that question's
dude. And I think my grandpa was probably another one. He died when I was like around 16, so obviously
20 years ago.
A lot of stuff that he's done. He fought in World War II as well and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff that had gone on, and just the family and the person that I become to kind of go back on that. But again, I wouldn't want him around all the time if I'm stuck with him.
Like he's a meet and greet.
Great guy, but it's just like I want to just have a conversation, talk about some stuff,
But is this the same grandpa that we both knew and grew up with, and for me knew as an adult, or is this like a different version because of where he's at, good or bad? Like he could be a lot more saltier now, and we're just like,
yeah,
change my mind. I'm good. You
Take my
got
wish
for
back, I don't
72
want to-
hours.
Shit. I go listen to you bitch complain for 72 hours now.
Go put a ring of
Yes,
salt
I can
around
touch
him.
the thermostat. It's my house, not your house. I can touch the thermostat. Leave me alone.
Purposely sit there. Go away. No. Go away. I'm gonna keep turning this down until you go away. Oh, down's not okay. Hold on. We're gonna keep going up until you go away. I don't care. I'll force the electric bill. I don't give a shit. Go away. Go away.
I'll pay it. And then the third, you want the controversial?
You made me have one, so yeah.
So I think so.
You can't have Genghis Khan. He's mine.
There's just stuff that like mine's not historic. Lincoln, but it's probably more recent because I think it's just gonna cause.
Did this happen roughly 80 years ago?
No,
Okay,
no,
you're good.
no. It's just within the last 5 years.
Oh, I'm just asking. Okay.
No,
Not hinting at anything. I'm just asking.
so there's a lot of stuff. It's mainly because Hollywood, to be able to talk to Epstein and say, what the fuck happened? And why are you so fucked up? What's up with your island? Because it ties into Hollywood and everything else. That's a whole fucking other world.
Yeah.
And how things are run there, the ties with that, the money involved in that, the book that they had, all that stuff is something that to understand all that stuff and see what the hell's going on with that stuff would be crazy.
It'd be a shit show.
Because, yes, it would be. And that's one shit
Are
show.
you stuck with Epstein for the rest of your life?
That's, I fucking hope not. I'll find out with my grandpa, and then I will probably change my answer after that. It depends on how long I have the person for. Because because that would be one that I'd want to know. Because that's what then really intrigues me is the whole Hollywood scene of how crazy is stuff and how much of Hollywood actually runs.
How much of the elite
runs the U.S.
Yeah,
yeah, which in the government and stuff like that. Like that's where the political side can come into stuff that we don't get into, but.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff.
We're just dipping our toes. We're just dipping our toes. It doesn't count. Even though Epstein was probably a lot worse than Genghis Khan.
I could say so, but nah. So yeah.
I don't think I read any records that he killed children. I'm just saying he definitely captured them, and he definitely raised them up in his army and his culture. I could be wrong. He didn't.
You're probably wrong, but yeah, I would say that there's probably a lot more. Now, either way, they're both monsters.
Oh yeah,
in their own way. So no, we're not churching it up. We're just more or less trying to understand and talk about some stuff because there's a lot of stuff that they're tied to that changed the world. Epstein didn't change the world. It's just things that are tied to them. He
opened up a lot of eyes.
Yes. Now, did it change the world? No. Genghis Khan, like you said, changed the world. Temperature-wise and things like that.
Well, I mean, even
didn't change my power bill. So,
no, but I mean, even from like the global impact, I say Genghis Khan for like multitudes of reasons, but like you have, what was the statistic? Basically, majority of people are related to Genghis Khan. To the point in that, like, I took a 23andMe DNA test a decade ago, 7 years ago, I guess. Either right when my daughter was born, right before my daughter was born, my wife gave it to me as like a Father's Day present or a birthday present, and one of the traits was like caveman genetics. I mean, like how much of legitimate caveman the genes do you have inside of you?
That makes sense of the eyebrow.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just the eyebrow; it's the forehead too. It's the forehead too, and that's what they called out. I was like, "You fuckers!" I knew I had a big forehead. But then there was another trait of relation to Genghis Khan, and so like I had 1.8% related to Genghis Khan, but then my wife had 0. So I was like, "Oh, cool, not related at all." I'm back to the truth. But like a global impact on like scientific level, a breeding level, a religious level, a political level, a militia level. Like this dude legitimately revolutionized the Eastern world. He never made it to, North America, South America, that I think they're aware of anyways. I don't know about the Bering Strait or the Ice Bridge, but he had such a massive fucking impact, and this is all before cars and planes. So he had horse and ships, and you're telling me this dude conquered everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many questions. I also have a lot of like things I just want answered. Not necessarily like, why'd you do it? More of like, how did it feel? Were children hurt? Is this an accurate representation? Are you that truly piece of shit? Oh, it wasn't you, it was somebody else. Oh, okay.
He just
do you know the other person? Can they tag along for a second? Is this like a buy one get one situation right now? I got some questions. If
you
you're
and
not
the boys,
useful,
come on down.
but like it's more of a, and in my ass, I would document all of it. Whether anybody believes me or not, like it would be one of those like I would document and just have that knowledge, useful fucking knowledge. Very likely, I know something very few people do. And then go to the historians, and this is where like my asshole side comes out. Go to the historians who are like, actually, Genghis Khan did XYZ. Like, wrong, bitch, wrong. You're motherfucking wrong. Let me tell you what happened. Actually, all right. Sit your ass down. I'm gonna school you for a second. How much time you got? I need more than that. It's fine. Cool, let's go. All right. So it started back in the year, and then I would fucking school him.
Really, his brother was the one that did everything. He just sat there and watched.
His brother, after meeting his brother, we found out there was something unique about him. But I have other people too. Again, that would just be inquisitive minds, basically. If I want to know, like, why, what led him to do this, if historical teachings are correct. Anything within like Greek or Roman or even Egyptian, it would be more of like the mythos. Was Hercules a real person? The 12 laborers. Did you guys actually see Ra? Who the fuck built the pyramids? Like, so many questions.
Yeah, see, those are ones I'd want to know.
Did Rome really get built in a day? It did? My dad's a fucking liar. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yes, it was.
Yeah, so break down pyramids for me. I want to know that one. How did you do that? Need to know.
Like, I've seen the documentaries that show the science behind it using like rollies and levers and pulleys and all that. Like, I get it. I'm not saying bullshit because it's pretty sound science, but that either means there was a lot of people held against their will, and like probably all the people Genghis Khan killed, but a lot of people, or they got paid better than we do now, or aliens, or octopus. It could have been octopus.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, I've seen the Mayan temples and stuff down in Mexico, and I've seen, obviously not a pyramid,
Aztecs, Incas, Mayans,
all that
Egyptians,
stuff that was built that long
Asians,
ago and still there.
and the similarities.
Like, I mean, it's crazy stuff that's how big that shit is. Now, I was never allowed to go up in them because obviously they're not stable. They don't let everybody just walk up in there and check.
Watch me.
But I walked through some.
I'll sign a waiver.
And I've seen. I walked through like the villages that they have. It's all stone. Everything's stone. The sports that they had and stuff like that, and then how they made everything and how it looks damn near perfect is crazy. Like,
because all those motherfuckers had OCD.
I mean, well, that's all you're doing all day, every day, and you have to make sure that the king and queen or whoever likes what they see, or else you're dead, and the next person coming in does it. So, I mean, obviously, you're going to try and make sure you do a good job, but they did amazing jobs. If something wasn't right, they were dead, and then the next person up. So, it is what it was. So that's why things are the way that they were, the way they looked.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy seeing some of that stuff.
I mean, that's a whole episode for conspiracy alone, because like again, we won't dive too much into it, but the fact that there are such a similarity between all the pyramids on a global level. There are pyramids, they have similar builds, they have similar structure, they have similar tensile strengths and all this stuff. And they're just like, oh yeah, it's a happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. But again, we'll dive into the episode. So teaser for future episode. But there's like the part like the rebirth or reincarnation, the multiverse one is there's one that again, this one really intrigued me a lot. I'm still researching it, but there's a theory out there that you're born again, white light, you're being pulled out into another universe that you have not yet belonged in. And there's a theory that you're born with all the knowledge that you had previously, so you have deja vu and you have dreams, which dreams are your past memories type thing and your future prediction type event. And it kind of just like a big culmination of all of them. But the gist of it, basically, born again, universe, and you're born in an era like the pyramids, and you have all this knowledge of being taught it, that now you're going to another universe that so happens to be tens of thousands of years younger than yours, that you just died from, and now you're able to live a life and be like a shaman, and you're not really healing, but you're not able to be a fortune teller and foresee anything. No, you just have this knowledge from a previous lifetime. And it's also a really good peace of mind when you're just like worrying about the afterlife a lot. And you're like, oh, cool. Now, what decade or century do I want to live in? Is this like the golden rule? If I just wish for it, hope it, put it on my dream board, my vision board, it's going to happen when I die? Well, that's a big risk. Let's find out. But, I mean, honestly, I would talk to anybody, any historical figure, political, religious, high end. I would. I can make a reasoning for like Kurt Cobain. I could make a reason for even Epstein, for all these celebrities that have died, especially recently, underneath like mysterious means, and just be like, okay, well, you all were set to expose something or supposedly expose something, and now you just did. Like, what were you going to expose? Can I? No, they won't come after me. I'm a nobody. No, I just run a podcast with Rahgel. It's fine. They won't know me. It's fine. I'll tell him too. So where he's at risk. 2 for 1. They got to decide which shitty state they want to go to, Iowa or Kansas. Gotta say, I'm probably more safe.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to drive 8 hours to Western Kansas or come to the airports. So. No, I mean, I still think it was a funny comment though that you put in Discord. Why would you talk to the dead? Ouija board.
No, that was just mainly just so I didn't forget it. So I put it in like that.
I know. I just think it's funny that we won't talk about it because it's not worthwhile. But like I put 2023 game awards, which to me is very straightforward. We're going to talk about that event that took place. And I was like, all right, straight to the point. And then every time I'm trying to put something in here, I'm like, do I need to be specific? Can I just be like generalized? No, I don't want Rahgel talking shit to me like I do him about Ouija board, you dumbass.
No, that's just my head. Like, I have to put it in there so I understand it or remember it. Or else I will forget it.
I had to be specific just because if not, if I put like, how would you talk to death? I don't really know what the fuck I meant like that. So let's see where this episode goes. You know. But no, I mean, yeah, I would. Except for children. No children. I'm good.
I don't think kids would bother me. If there's the whole demon thing, that's no. You're sitting here and fucking scream all day and make these damn noises. They're gonna scare the shit out of me at the beginning again, but then it's gonna get annoying. I'm gonna get fucking tired of it because the ringing in my ears is gonna match the screaming that you're doing at some point. I'm gonna get really annoyed, and then I'm gonna try and do something and probably get attacked by a demon and scratch the fuck up or beat up or something.
Well, then could they possess you?
I don't know if they want to be in my head. I mean, good luck.
Make a deal. You survive 24 hours in my head. You can stay.
You come in this
Good
body,
luck.
you're going to be in pain. For one. 2, you're not going to like half the thoughts I fucking have. And 3, we don't do much, so good luck.
You forgot number 4. Don't forget he's even in there.
You can have it. Let's just figure out what you want to do. I don't know.
It's like,
You gotta be at work tomorrow, so let's go.
like, as long as I get a rest, I don't give a fuck what you do. I'll be back here. Let me know when you're gone. I'll be here.
Tell you what, you run this, I'm gonna take a nap. We try.
I mean, it'd be peaceful at least, because then they're running the ship, and you're just kind of back there in a blank space, a black space, a void.
Yeah. Go ahead and just drive where you want to. I'm in the back. Hey, there's a Taco Bell right there. Oh, there's McDonald's. Ha.
Pull the fuck over.
Something. No, something. Need something. Getting kind of hungry.
Joke's on you till they pull up to like a super healthy restaurant. Ooh, kill broccoli.
You are a fucking demon. You're an asshole. No, I don't want Palmer's Deli. Get the fuck out of here. It's a fucking salad. What are you, crazy? Yeah.
Quinoa lentils.
Such a dick. Tell you what, you spell quinoa, we can eat it. Didn't think so. Nobody knows how to spell it.
You.
Shut up. Fuck.
But I think it would. I think it would be interesting, but there's so many like what ifs or theories to go off of it that the ultimate question is, do you bother asking to potentially find out more and alter your life forever, or do what I've been doing? Play ignorance against whatever keeps ripping Jesus off the cross. You just
Ignore it, it'll go away.
It did. I mean, we went away, so you know. Somebody moved. They won. It's fine. No biggie. I think that's all we got for y'all in this episode. So my little spiel is only going to be just go check out patreon.com/you guys want Gamepad podcast. Get access to all the perks like the video edition of this episode that you're listening to right now, along with so many other more items. That's just the biggest one that's easiest to explain. There's tons of bonus content, perks, voting abilities, episodes, game nights, Q&As, and so much more. And then come join us on Discord. Other than that, Rahgel.
Check us out on Thursdays. Still playing. Occasionally other people hop on. We had somebody else join us that we never even knew.
Fucking random.
It was fun.
Showed your ass up.
Good time. Nope, I beat him every time. Maybe one
no,
time.
he didn't. No, he beat me. Rahgel lost a lot.
Either way, we had a good time. Thursday nights are fun. Check out the merch store as well. Still have stuff in there. Hopefully more things to come. We had a few things we wanted to do this year, didn't have a chance to, but maybe this season we'll do them. We'll see.
Oh, we got a lot of ideas for this season too. So you really need to go check out social medias for us at 2 Guys 1 Gamepad, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, and YouTube for sure. Like, follow, subscribe over there on one of those because, correct me if I'm wrong, you still plan to do some type of video or TV show review with Twitch watch parties, if possible. I'm going to try to do, and I'm sure Rahgel will too at some point, do game reviews on newly released games or testing out famous / popular trends on games like Call of Duty with metas and whether or not these metas truly work for the average player or it's a complete crap, and so much more. So you're going to want to check out all those because we got lots of stuff in store. You won't want to miss out. Promise it's going to be a good time. So
We're a little more hands-on this season.
we're going to try. I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying we're going to try in case Rahgel leaves me again
Oh,
for
whatever.
like 2 weeks.
It's going to happen.
That's fine. We're taking breaks this season. Just letting you know. There will be intermittent breaks.
Works. So, yeah. Until then, bye, bitch.